All right, what it do, everybody? It's your boy LOG. We're here with a special recording. Nothing too special, but Trump went on the JRE podcast, so me and Mr. Joe Games wanted to kind of go over some of the key moments and give our takes on it before it gets too old and while it's still fresh.
Yeah, what it do, everybody? Mr. Joe Games, Joy Flex. We're gonna talk about Trump and Joe Rogan. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, comment down below.
Hell yeah. I know we were talking about this like only a few days ago, and you were speculating if Trump was going to be on Joe Rogan, if Kamala was. You were thinking maybe together, but uh, I think the most likely thing that I was thinking happened. But when you first saw it, what were your first thoughts when you saw the post on YouTube?
I could tell the future. I'll tell you what. That's what I thought. I was
Shit.
like, I knew I'd be right. I heard about it. I knew about it. Inside information.
I saw
Make sure you say.
something about Trump being in Austin yesterday. Uh, on Facebook, and I didn't think anything of it. And then like a little later on Facebook, another one of my homies posted on there like, "Damn, I'm like mad that the traffic is all fucked up just because of one dude." And then I was like, "Oh, they're talking about like Trump being in town and like traffic being closed down." And that's kind of how I felt when like Biden was in town. Honestly, I was like, "Damn, traffic's all fucked up just because this one dude." But I didn't put it all together that meant he was on Rogan that day. And then like an hour later, like 10, I was just about to go to bed and I saw on YouTube that it got posted.
No, yeah, it's crazy, man. I didn't think traffic was all messed up for y'all just because of one guy.
Yeah, they got to shut down the highway to the airport.
Oh, so they can make
That's
sure he gets there
crazy.
safely.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know about it. I was already home in San Marcos, but like people in Austin were like putting that on Facebook, and I was like, damn. Excuse me. I was like, damn, that's
I could hear people complaining or like
you can see
calling
that.
into work. It's like Trump came into town, so I can't go into work because
Yeah,
of traffic. People hate traffic in that area.
yeah. Seriously, it's kind of ass. But excuse me. Well, I guess without any further ado, we have some timestamps that Mr. Joe Games was courteous enough to go through and skim and find some important stuff for us to talk about. So let's go ahead, and there might be more from this. I might watch the whole thing, but this is kind of our early on reaction of some of the key moments that we're going to hit on before.
It's the highlights, everybody. Our favorite parts from the podcast. All that useless information about Mickey Mouse and Little Mouse and all this UFC fight. We don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, we might get some of the fine details later, but these are definitely going to be some of the big moments. So hopefully Mr. Joe Games and I both have the same comment with all these timestamps, and I might go through while we're doing this and kind of edit them. That way, they actually coordinate with what's going on, and maybe they'll, who knows, maybe it'll be a top comment, but maybe not. So anyway, let's jump into the first one and give our thoughts on it. Do you remember what this first one is, or not really?
That he's a survivor.
Oh, okay, let me turn the playback speed to normal. And okay.
Survive. And you see that.
Wait, you can see this, right?
Yeah, I can see it, bro.
I mean, you see where in the Washington Post very early on they said, well, now.
Hold on. I ask you that, my fucking viewers can't even see it.
We're going to make sure to only do 30 seconds at a time. So bear with us. We're going to be pausing a lot, talking about it a lot. And we're going to get over the facts. We don't want to get copyrighted either. So Joe Rogan, don't copyright us. If you do, fucked up.
Fair use, Joe Rogan. Fuck you.
Now the impeachment stuff starts. And it did. I mean, it literally started from the beginning. So I had survival and run the nation.
So Joe Rogan asked him what it was like when he first got in there, and he's just saying it was more than he had expected, and it was like a little overwhelming, and I think he's going to argue that it was more than like the average president would have to deal with.
He was thinking about survival.
Before I got to office, all of a sudden, they came down. I mean, nobody has ever been treated that way. And you see that. I mean, you see where in the Washington Post very early on they said, well, now the impeachment stuff starts. And it did. I mean, it literally started from the beginning. Good. So I had...
That's good.
Yeah, so he basically immediately, as soon as he got in office, they're trying to get rid of him.
And that's not typical, I would say, for most presidents, you know?
Yeah, they did not. They just didn't like him.
Because they always say, they always say, like, Trump is this. He's the most this of any president. He's the worst. But it's like, and they also say like he doesn't accept election results, but like if they're gonna start the impeachment process immediately, does that sound like they accepted the results of his winning in 2016?
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let just like 10 more seconds play off, and then we'll move on.
He was an
Survival and
outside force. An outside force they were not expecting
I think that's
to
what they
actually
want you to
come.
think.
Oh, really? You think he was planted there?
Yeah.
Okay.
run the nation. I had a combination. Most people don't have the survival; they get in. I think
What did you expect?
Okay, I'll clip it there. But yeah, uh, that's just interesting. You know, he had to deal with more than most, and if the Democrats, it doesn't seem like they just accepted it and went on like they want him to do.
you get eaten. You just get eaten. The system eats you alive.
Right.
So, so it was really somebody that not only was new to Washington, but was new to politics. So
Oh, is that? Didn't he say at another part in this interview that he's been around politics for a long time?
Yes, he said, I'm a big donor. I'm a charitable donor. I'm one of the best donors. That he was going on
Yeah.
about.
And then he's
Yeah,
gonna
he's
act like
like,
I'm new. I'm brand new to it. I almost wish we had that clip. But anyway, yeah.
in the office of the presidency, over the years, all those presidents, you've had 92% were politicians and 8% were generals. General Eisenhower, General Washington, right? General George Washington.
Yeah.
You had General.
he was one of the one of the few that's not any
They
political
didn't hold
background.
office before.
He wasn't a general either. He's a businessman.
Yeah, he was the only one that wasn't a politician before or a general. But I would say he's super close to what a politician is. Especially if you're donating money to all these politicians. Like, how much different are you from what they do?
Sure.
Like, if you're buying off politicians, are you not like
A politician.
a politician
yourself.
yourself? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 1815. He talks about some good stuff right there.
Okay, you're done with this clip.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Okay, are
He
any
like-
of these
some-
like? Oh, go ahead.
Sometimes he'll like just rant about like random stuff,
Yeah. Okay.
or like you know how he goes
Every-
on like
Oh yeah.
the really big right hand in the air fryer and the fries. What do you say?
That was gold, dude.
Yeah,
I
he
bet you
just
can't
adds
grab one.
extra. He just adds extra words into his fucking.
I bet you can't touch
sentences.
it.
Everybody wants the position.
Of course.
No, but sometimes I'll hear a lot of people don't want to work with Trump because Trump is tough to work with, etc. Let me tell you, everybody wants to be any one of these positions. They die for it.
Of course.
Now, they don't want to be known. I mean, there's a particular guy in
All right, that's good.
New York.
What did you want to hear about that one?
Just how everybody wants a position, man. So they all talk shit about Trump, how they don't like Trump. But at the end of the day, they're secretly kissing his ass and wanting to work for him, and he knows it all too well.
And then Joe Rogan just, of course, just co-signing the bullshit.
Yeah, Joe Rogan really likes Trump today for some reason.
Yeah, suck his dick, Joe. I'm gonna watch this whole interview, and the thing is, you could watch it, and like, I've already watched the first 30 minutes twice, and every time you watch it, there's new things you pick up on. So for me, when I'm trying to analyze shit like this, it's hard for me to decide, like, I don't know, what should I put out there, the first watch through, or like should I watch it 3 times and really like analyze it in depth, or like. But anyway, there's so much when you get like long form content like this. There's so much you can pick up on.
Yeah,
All right, what's the next clip over? Do you remember?
that's 1926.
Yeah.
Picking people that are outside of politics is somewhat dangerous.
So
I
you're
think.
kind of stuck in a position where you have to pick established people. And then the problem with established people is established people are already indoctrinated into the system.
And they're stiffs in many cases. They're
Stiffs.
stiffs. They're survivors. I find
Are they stiffs or are they survivors?
Again with the survivor talk.
He thinks he's a fucking. He thinks he's Richard Hatch.
Yeah, he thinks he's on the Apprentice again.
Yeah, I know.
He brings that up. He brings that up too. He's like, "Oh, The Apprentice was one of the highest television series ever known to man." He talks about
he
no
brought
one
that
gives
up in
up
the
prime.
beginning.
Yeah, he's like, no one gives up prime time, and I was like, but yeah, here he basically he's forced to pick people in the know because if he pulls in outsiders, they're just a loose cannon like he is,
And they might not know anything.
and they might not know anything. And then the thing with politicians is they're in there for so long, and they have all these favors done for other people. So it's hard to get someone new who hasn't done favors for other people to get things done for you. You get me?
Yeah, they'll owe someone.
Yeah, they all owe someone in the political.
You
Like,
owe
it's-
me.
Yeah, they're all doing little fucking favors for each other and helping each other become rich and get the laws passed that they want to get done for.
Stop the hammering.
There should be like a rotation every 5 years you can apply.
Hmm.
And then if you win it, you win it. If not, you have to take a break for a year and then you can apply again. You have to take a break for 5 years and then you can apply again.
Hmm.
That way we don't have this crooked system.
Don't you think it comes down to people's hearts and doing the right thing though?
I guess so, man. But
You can't
Fucking-
force. You can't put. No matter how many laws you put in place, you have to want to do the right thing.
well, I sure hope they do the right thing.
You know what I mean? You can't force someone. Like, okay, how about this? Murder is already illegal, but yet school shootings are on the rise. They want to make more and more laws to make. Let's make it to where the guns have smaller magazines, or let's just take away the guns altogether. A crazy psychopath can still go up to school with a fucking knife, and he might not kill as many, but he's still gonna kill some people.
For sure.
Or a crazy motherfucker can make a bomb. Or he can rig it up and he can put a bunch of gas in the school that you can't even smell and kill a bunch of people that way. Crazy motherfuckers
Oh.
that want to kill, they're going to kill no matter what.
They'll find a way.
They'll find a way. So it's all about we need to like fix the humans and like fix, like everyone needs to work on themselves instead of us trying to all these laws that are like it comes down to the individuals.
Just morals.
Yeah.
Like how I was talking about how the school system should teach kids at a young age the right to wrong,
Yeah.
and less about like useless information that they're never going to use. Like we should have an ethics class every few years. Like
But
maybe
if
in
someone
first
that
grade.
doesn't love you is just teaching you about ethics, you're gonna say, okay, I understand the ethics, but I'm still just gonna manipulate the system to where there are certain kids that are gonna be like, I'm just gonna manipulate the system to where it benefits me because there's no love and just pure ethics.
like in their household.
Yeah, like if a school teaches me what's ethical and what's good and right and wrong, but why would I follow that?
To hopefully set you up for a brighter future. Or a
Yeah,
good
but what if
future.
doing that doesn't set you up for a brighter future in the system?
Well, at least you're not a piece of shit in jail,
Yeah.
fucking killing. Like, at least you're not killing people, or at least you're not like, right from wrong, and you can hold yourself accountable more, and you can hopefully choose actions that are going to guarantee you a successful life. Or
I just
a
think
good
that's
life.
not that looks differently when it's coming from the parents versus when it's coming from the state.
Yeah, but parents are like now parents are forced to work jobs, like both mom and dad. So, like they're always going to be at work, or they're always going to be too busy, and fucking got to step up as a nation.
Yeah, but
government.
imagine you learned what's right and wrong and stuff just from like school and not from your parents.
Well, of course, my parents are going to help me on certain things or on certain topics, or
Yeah, that's what it really comes down to. You only care when it comes from your parents. If the school teaches you, you don't give a fuck. It doesn't mean anything.
yeah. But if I can answer those questions they ask me on the test correctly about ethics, then that shows that I'm an ethically good person.
No, it doesn't. It shows that you know ethics. It doesn't show that you are ethical.
Well, when the time comes for me to make an ethical choice, I better make the right choice, like how I do on my test.
Yeah, but that's just like people say that's not a good argument. Just because you know the rules doesn't mean you're going to abide by them. That means you could be really good at breaking them. Like, depending on the state to teach kids is not a good thing.
But the state's gonna choose what we fucking do with our lives, or what we do with our fucking.
They
their
don't, though. That's
laws,
an
with their-
illusion.
But we still follow them. Like, fuck.
Yeah, sadly.
Like, what can we do? Like, either we like become one under the like fucking laws, or we break the laws and start new laws, or fucking.
Yeah, you just can't depend on them too much because it's never going to be a good result, I don't think.
Yeah, but people aren't doing anything for themselves nowadays. They aren't changing anything. They aren't doing
Yeah.
anything. They aren't speaking out. Some of them vote because they're brainwashed by their party. You know,
Hmm.
people are stuck on voting blue. People are stuck on voting red. If you try to bring in a new system, people aren't gonna vote for it. It's never gonna work because you have
Yeah,
to get the
people are
Senate
willing
out.
to spend an hour to go down and vote, but they're not willing to spend 30 minutes on a conversation that could change someone's mind and they could learn the truth.
Bro, people wait in lines for hours to go to rallies.
Yeah.
You know that? They wait like 3-4 hours, another 2 hours to be there.
Yeah. It's
I was
crazy.
telling my grandma, I was like, dude, people just don't have nothing better to do. And she's like, oh yeah, but those are real supporters. I'm like, they could do so much more, like from their house, making blogs or posts or being on YouTube or making YouTube videos about how this candidate is doing good for their country or fucking state or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're over there at the rally just partying with other fucking Trumpies and other fucking Kamala people. They're just like, whoa, Kamala, woo, Trump. Fucking barbecuing out there and shit. Drinking.
Yeah.
Fucking getting in fights. They're getting in fights with both sides. There's an Instagram or Facebook video of like Republican Democrats almost like pulling out their guns and shooting each other.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but it was all over Facebook.
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, but let's go on to the next fucking topic. Next timestamp.
All right.
2541. I think this is something you wanted.
What was this last one about? I forgot already.
Just click it again.
Picking people that are outside
Oh,
of
yeah, picking people that are outside of politics is risky, so he just kind of picks
Yeah.
safe. So, but
And we're trying to like say like, oh, like maybe we can switch the laws or like
right. No, I
fucking
know what we
change
were
the-
saying.
Yeah.
My last comment on this before we move on is, if everyone thinks Trump's a rebel and he's an outsider, how big a deal is that if he gets in there and then he just picks a bunch of people that are not outsiders, which are doing a bunch of the work? Like, the president only does so much, and it's all the people that he picks to do under him that he delegates tasks to. If they're just a bunch of people that are part of the swamp, then what does it matter if he's an outsider? Like, I don't know, something to think about.
I think he should bring in a bunch of outsiders.
You know what I'm
change it
saying?
up.
Like,
Just fucking, you know what? Fuck it. Let's change it up. Let's bring in a bunch of new people, have them fix this shit.
you
Because
know,
I like, fuck
that's the
them.
image
Fuck
he's selling, though, because people are like, he's an outsider. But yeah, but if everyone that works for him is not, then so what?
He's just a puppet at that point.
He's just one
Like,
man, you know. But anyway,
He's
all right,
just-
next.
business when
It's the most dangerous
yes, the
business.
most well for a job.
Yes.
It's-
I mean, other
this
than
is the
going to
far.
war and being a firefighter or being a cop,
Yeah.
it's the most dangerous
It's-
business.
Are they saying being a president is the most dangerous job?
Yes, because they get assassinated. He just recently got shot at. He almost died for this country.
But they said the percentage of it is not even that high.
What do you
most
mean?
dangerous for being president is the most dangerous.
Especially you. I mean,
Oh, much more
you
so.
haven't even got to the election. There's been 2 assassination attempts. And they've
Why weren't there any while he was president or when he was running the first time?
I don't know.
You're just gonna brush that under the rug, Joe. You're a fucking
Joe-
cocksucker.
brushed those
Joe's,
out of the
like,
news.
loving on Trump.
Yeah, he's loving on him, bro. They're just, it's just like he's just going with with maybe not the official narrative, but he's going with one of a few official narratives. Like, he's not going
I
with
think-
anything. He's not asking any critical questions and coming up with his own thought process.
I think Dana White got in his ear, Elon got in his ear, and then Trump. I mean, they all got in their ears, right?
Yeah.
To Trump also, and they're like, just go on the podcast. He's gonna suck
Well, they
you
got
up.
10 million views in 12 hours.
I think it's 11 now, 12.
He's
But
basically
yeah,
getting a
it's-
million an hour. Almost.
Yeah, it's very impressive. I think it's gonna hit like
It's gonna
30
get
mil-
close to the Cat Williams and Shannon Sharp. That's the first thing I thought when I saw it.
I think it'll surpass that.
I think it will too, but it's gonna be like the first 24-hour numbers are gonna be comparable, you know, because they both were getting close to like the 20 million within 24 hours. I think
Yeah, but that's basically all that
that's
clip.
crazy.
That's all that segment was about. Was just
Clips.
being president is the most dangerous job in the world.
Okay, yeah. But we're here to provide other
JF
commentary too, not just get locked into what everyone else is saying. So I want to. That's part of the.
Abraham got shot. JFK got shot.
Who else?
All the other political people got shot.
That's 2 out of like hundreds.
I can switch it up real quick.
What
There's
percentage?
another one that
What
got
percentage
shot.
of presidents have died while in office?
So Abraham Lincoln, and then James A. Garfield,
Okay.
and then William McKinney, John F. Kennedy, Ronald Reagan.
Reagan was not
though.
assassinated, or there was an attempt.
He was in temp.
Okay.
Theodore Roosevelt
Hmm.
and Donald Trump.
How many is that? 7 or 8?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 presidents have gotten assassinated / attempted assassinated,
So that's like 14% of the presidents
more or less. Yeah.
have had an attempt. So that's like not that crazy, like you would think. They're like half the presidents ever have had an attempt on them. It's like no, 15% have had an attempt. So over the majority have not ever had an attempt at all.
It's crazy that a lot of these assassinations could have been prevented because they just allowed people with guns to get close to the
To get
president.
too close. Nailed it, buddy.
That's like,
you nailed
what
it.
the fuck? Like, why? Like, they
Yeah,
only had 3 guards guarding Abraham Lincoln.
right.
And the dude was able to walk past all 3 of them. The last guard, he convinced him to take a break. He was
The
like,
heck?
go for. Yeah, they taught us this in history. They're like, go take a break, man. You deserve it. We
Like
just got out of war. Like, you need a cigarette. And he fucking left, and then he walked in, shot Abraham in the head.
Like I was telling
That's
you the other
crazy.
day, it's crazy too, like the lack of security and the amount of times they failed like 15 times in one day during the first Trump assassination. Like if you listen to all the times they failed, it's like unbelievable.
Sad.
But
I
anyway,
thought we were greater than that.
yeah, that's what they want you to think. Sometimes it's weird. Okay, so what's the next one?
That was
20?
basically it. So, I think 20 was at 2541. We're at 2509.
Okay, we got one out of place. Oh well.
When he's walking around, he doesn't know what he's doing.
It
It's funny.
scares.
It's stand up. It's funny stuff.
Oh yeah,
But it's
that's
like
it.
you and you were making fun of Elon one time. You were doing an Elon impression. It's great. You have like comedic instincts. Like when you said to Hillary, "You'd be in jail." Like that's great timing.
Yeah.
But it's like that
That's
kind of
basically
stuff
it.
was unheard of as a
Joe just
Joe
giving him
Rogan's
props
like-
for being somewhat comedic and having comedic timing.
He's just bringing up the comedic timing, the
Of
whole
Trump, yeah.
comedic. Like he wanted to bring it up, talk about himself a little bit. Like you're just like me. You
I do
know?
think out of all the like, that is kind of one of the things of Trump not being a politician, where he is more like loose and like he doesn't talk like a politician, and like he is more comedic than any other like president person or politician that we've ever seen. So that is the one, like the greasiness and the business side and like the dealing with that shit. I think he's the same as them, but like the way he talks and jokes is different from most politicians.
I don't even think he's trying to joke, bro. Like, cause I'm the same way. Sometimes just telling the truth,
But you
or
know what
just
I
telling
mean?
it like
Yeah.
like telling it how it is can come out comedic.
Yeah.
You know.
It
But that's
wasn't
basically-
edited.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it for
It
that.
was fraud.
it was, yeah.
This was not editing. You know,
Right.
editing is where I'll give an answer and they'll take a couple of words and change it around, or they might even take a sentence or two off, which is very bad. But it's sort of bad. You know, I'd give an answer which was a very good answer. I always talk about, you know, I like to give long the weave. You know, I like to give
Yeah, you like to weave things
yeah.
in.
But when you
He's talked about the weave on several different podcast. On several different podcasts recently, and they bring it up several times here, so that's cool.
I don't know what the weave is.
It's like where he
Like,
gets
he's
to go-
dodging.
No, well, it seems like dodging, but he starts off with one thing and he brings in like 2 or 3 other examples, and then if he does the weave correctly, it's like where he actually does get back to the main point and it all ties in somehow. But sometimes he can get lost. So anyway.
Oh yeah, but he's basically talking about how they Kamala, like they got her videos or they got like her interviews and they edited them and they made it like sound like she was saying something completely different.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to this clip and actually go back before so we can hear what they're saying about that just a little bit.
Well, it wasn't editing. And I've seen.
And it's opening up the credibility to new media. It's opening up the credibility to independent media.
I've ever seen though, and I've seen the worst. I mean, I've been a part of it. I've seen the worst. Kamala goes on 60 Minutes, gave an answer that a child wouldn't give. It was so bad.
Ripping her, dude.
Just fucking roasting her.
Fair use, fair use.
And 60 Minutes took the answer out. They took the whole, and they put another answer in.
They edited it deceptively.
Which didn't make sense either, but it was better. They took it wasn't editing. It was fraud.
It was, yeah.
This was not editing. Editing is.
That's what I was trying to say, our show, because fucking Trump, he just loves to go on and on and on. But yeah, he's basically calling Kamala and their team a bunch of frauds and how they're just they're changing the script on what she says to make her look good.
Yeah, but he has a good point where like it's one thing if you edit out, like it's still wrong, but it's wrong. It's one thing to take out a word or take out a sentence, but he's saying they took out a whole several sentence answer and put a whole other ass thing in there. So anyway.
Yeah. Good.
Where I'll give an answer and they'll take a couple of words and change them around, or they might even take a sentence or two off, which is very bad. But it's sort of bad. I'd give an answer which was a very good answer. I always talk about, I like to give long the weave. I like to,
you like to weave things in.
But when you do the weaves, and you have to be very smart to do weaves. When you
have to be very smart to do the weave.
Do the weave.
I mean,
look at
he does talk about Kamala and how she's low IQ.
Oh yeah, does he say that after this?
No, somewhere in the fucking interview, but I couldn't find it.
I'm gonna let this play out another few seconds.
Go for it, man.
There's one thing we're talking about little pieces all over here, but it always ends up home. No, it comes back home. For the right people. For the wrong people, it doesn't come back home, and they end up in the wilderness, right? but they can.
All right.
He's basically talking about Kamala.
Oh yeah, you end up in the wilderness. All right, next clip.
I believe this is a transgender talk.
But she was to fund the police. She was all these transgender operations. If you wanted a sex change and you were in detention and you demanded a sex change, they would give you a sex change.
Well, the wildest one is this idea of giving free sex change to illegal immigrants.
That's right. In detention.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Is that a real thing?
First of all, as soon as you get into jail, your rights are revoked, taken away. You have no rights. Who cares if you want to be this or that? Like, you're in fucking jail. Like, you're a killer. You're a rapist. You're a fucking drug addict, or you're some sort of felon. You're some sort of like piece of shit. Like, you don't have a say in what the fuck you want. You wait till you get out to change your life or make these different, make these changes. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Why are taxpayer dollars going towards that?
Yeah.
So the inmates can have a fucking better time with their fellow inmates? It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know.
That's weird.
I don't know how that can be real.
Fucking
that is
2024, dude. 2024 is fucking, it's reality, man. Believe it or not.
The wildest thing. Is that the biggest problem you have?
Yeah.
You just walked here from Guatemala. You need to become a girl.
But she was in favor of it.
Yes.
So think of it.
So think of it. I love how he says that. So think of it.
She fucking supports this shit.
That's craziness.
Now she changed. She changed 15 policies. In fact, I'm going to send her a MAGA cap.
She stole your idea about.
Let's see. 42.
Believe me, they control our politicians. If you look at the kind of numbers that these guys make then and now, but we had.
Who's he talking about?
You can go back a little bit. He talked about countries and how they control our politicians. These foreign countries.
Take our family.
They're the ones in charge of their paychecks. They're the ones in charge of what they can say or do. They're the ones that control our state.
That's
America.
Crazy to say. As someone that was the president and might potentially be the president.
He probably saw it go down.
Like I was
I
saying
mean, all
earlier,
his-
he's only one man with only so much power in our system. If everyone but him is controlled, then that's terrible. Like,
he does say he's a very, very powerful man though. Once he's in that position,
but
so
still,
I think this next coming term, once he does win, or if he does win, I think he will do a lot of things.
that's like saying LeBron James is not doing anything dirty, but everyone else is playing basketball is rigging it. All the other players are in on it, and the refs are in on it. Everybody's in on it, but not LeBron because he's the best by far, and he can make the most impact. But everyone else is cheating and rigging stuff together. It's like, well, LeBron's only gonna be able to do so much there. Like,
Yeah,
if all everyone else is in on rigging it, then I mean, fuck, he'd have to score like 60 points to go against to change the outcome of the. So it's like, for Trump, he's like, I'm powerful when I get in there. It's like, yeah, but if everybody else is compromised, then there's only so much you can do. But I'll let it play out.
Unless they pay a big price, and the big price is tariffs. And he'd speak like that, but he was right. And then around in the early 1900s, they switched over stupidly to, frankly, an income tax. And you know why? Because countries were putting a lot of pressure on America. We don't want to pay tariffs. Please don't. You know, they, believe me,
Okay,
they
that's good.
control our politics.
I do like what he says
Politicians.
about tariffs.
If you look at the
I
kind
do
of
like what he
numbers that
says about taxing these countries, getting money from them instead of the people,
How do we know
I
they're
feel like they're-
controlling our politicians though? He just says that.
because they recently have been leaning off the tariffs and they've been focusing more on income tax and taxing
Oh, okay.
us, like the
that
people.
these guys make then and now. But we had a commission meeting in the
Okay, I wanted to see.
And recently he talked about wanting to get rid of the income tax and just focus solely on tariffs,
Yeah.
which is like one of the reasons why we went independent in the first place from the European regime.
Hmm.
When we fucking said no to taxation.
me a favor. Do you know Elon Musk? Yes. He endorsed me. By the way,
He loves sucking Elon.
Yeah, he should have pull down the pants right away.
gave me the,
He was definitely hack smagging.
It's called hag maxing.
I don't give a rat's ass. What is it?
Hag maxing.
Fuck him.
Did you
Polls
learn that
were
from my
knocked down.
bully?
I learned that from you.
Oh, okay.
down everything. And one of the guys in North Carolina said, could you do me a favor? Do you know Elon Musk? Yes. He endorsed me. By the way, he gave me the nicest endorsement, too. The tough. He said, the country's going to fail. You should do the same thing, Joe, because you cannot.
He needs Joe. He needs Joe on his side.
He's almost trying to bully him into it, right?
I mean, he's kind of already endorsed Trump by having him on the show.
That's true.
Be voting for Kamala. Kamala, you're not a Kamala person. I
Kamala.
know you. I've watched you. I know him better than he is. You know what?
Even Joe
Without
can't
speaking
keep
to you,
it
I think I
serious.
No.
know you maybe almost as well as your wife. I have watched you for so many years. You're not a Kamala person. You're a Khabib person, but you're not a Kamala person. No, nobody's going to know who Khabib is. But
And he cracks.
Oh,
the
they
boat.
know.
No one's gonna know who Khabib is. It's like, oh, everyone knows. He's crooked.
Dude, he loves it. He's so happy he's able to make him laugh right now.
Oh
He's loving
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
he was not bad, right? That guy.
Oh, he was phenomenal.
But that's your kind of
Your
person.
weave is getting wide. We're
No,
getting
no,
wide with
my
this
weave,
weave.
but isn't it
I want
much
to
There we
bring
go
back.
with the weave again.
He's gonna bring it back, baby.
Bring it all in, Trump. Oh man. Let's see.
Fuck the weave.
During our 4 years, we had the cleanest air and the cleanest water. I view it differently. I say air and water. Remember this.
Okay, dude. There is no way that the environment goes from shit to like great to shit again. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I thought this was
costs
a very good point.
Much more to do things environmentally clean. China doesn't do anything.
Right.
When Kerry goes to see President,
Okay. Is there anything else?
He loves talking shit about China.
Sometimes. Me and Chi, we have a great relationship.
We're the best. What's
We get dust clouds and all.
The
What?
dust clouds. He talks about the dust clouds here.
Woo!
Austin from the Sahara Desert.
But we get the China, they call it the China curse. We get the China curse. They're bad, and their air is dirty. When I went there, I had a great relationship with President Xi. We got along very well.
See?
Woo!
See? Oh, what did I just say? Oh, I didn't even know he said it in this interview, but he said it so many times.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can't talk shit about someone unless he says something good about them first.
He's like a fucking Woody pull string doll. I mean, he's got several sayings, but he's only got so many.
I mean, you're from Austin area more or less.
Yeah.
Do you see this China curse that he's talking about? These dust clouds.
Bro, I see chemtrails all the time, and it's our own government spraying it on us, not China.
Okay.
Holy. Have you ever seen that news story? Let me try to pull it up real quick. Where they were spraying chemtrails in St. Louis, Missouri, and it was like it basically came out on the news that they were doing that.
I think so, yeah.
Here we go. I'm gonna play it real quick.
This next story is so unbelievable, we didn't think it could possibly be true. But after receiving thousands of records and declassified reports from the Army, it's confirmed that during the Cold War, the United States military conducted secret tests on unsuspecting people in the city of St. Louis.
What?
How's that, yeah?
It's so alarming. We didn't think it could be true. Oh, but it is.
And why isn't this making major news? Like, why doesn't everybody know about this?
Well, how many other times has it happened that we didn't find out?
I
Team investigates. Let's watch the rest of this. It's only 4 minutes. Well, I'll probably only play like half of it, but
A local sociologist will make her findings public tomorrow, but she spoke first to the I-Team's Lisa Zigman.
Lisa Martino Taylor's life work has been to uncover details of the Army's ultra-secret military experiments carried out in St. Louis and other cities during the 1950s and 60s.
This study was secretive for a reason. They didn't have volunteers stepping up and saying, yeah, I'll breathe zinc cadmium sulfide with radioactive particles.
Yeah,
I wonder why
that.
someone doesn't want to breathe in that.
Who would want to take in all these chemicals?
And look what they did.
These Army archive pictures
What are you gonna say?
They should have made a vape chemical, like all these fucking chemicals. People would go crazy over that shit.
Well, look at what they did because no one wanted to go do their testing, so they just decided to do it on everyone anyway.
show how the tests were done in Corpus Christi, Texas in the 1960s. In Texas, planes were used to drop the chemicals.
In Corpus Christi, they're using planes to drop it. How do you like that, Joe?
I fucking hate it.
That's right in our backyard. You don't think they would just fly right a little further our direction, do you?
Corpus Christi's already like so ugly. They just made it worse. Or the reason why it's so ugly is probably because of this shit.
Look at this.
But in St. Louis, the Army placed chemical sprayers on buildings and
Hey, but in St. Louis, they were too cheap to do planes, so they just did it off the side of a building. Woo! That is your United States government, folks.
That's fucked up.
In the 60s.
station wagons.
Anyway,
Our government should get sued for that shit.
there you go. So
That's fucked up.
it's definitely
My
some
ancestors could have been fucked up because of that shit.
yeah. So there you go, folks. I was saving that to do a video where I was gonna put a bunch of like videos together, but there you go. All right, let's get back to this. He's gonna blame it on China though.
Ranch in South Texas. We had to drive past this enormous windmill farm, and it's gross. It's dystopian. You're looking in the left and the right, and all you see is these big spinning machines that aren't even that effective at generating electricity.
Correct. Most expensive form of electricity is a windmill, and then they start to rust and rot,
And you have to
and then they
replace
get
them.
abandoned by the people that built them. Because
Well, you have
Have you seen those things out in West Texas?
South Texas.
Oh, they're out in
Yes.
West Texas too.
I've been to West Texas a lot. I've been to South Texas a lot, and I've seen a shit ton of windmills. And yes, they are. I always thought they were cool because I'm a little younger, I guess. But yeah, if they're not that effective, and they're dangerous too, they need technicians to go up there and fuck with the windmills.
Yeah.
And if one catches fire and you're up there, you're fucking dead.
Yeah,
Like, there's no-
imagine.
They should have a parachute up there for the fucking employees. So if something like that happens, they can just grab the parachute and jump off.
Yeah.
Which I don't see why they should. Like they don't. Like it doesn't make sense. But yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Like
Yeah.
the whole industry, the whole business. I think maybe the smaller windmills, like the farmers use the wooden ones.
The regular ones,
I
yeah.
think those are more. That way, if you don't want them anymore, just burn them. Or just fucking chop them up, use them for something. But yeah, I don't think these big ass metal windmills are that worth it.
Yeah.
But there's money to be made. I think we should definitely look for a more alternative route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Maybe we
agree.
should rely on water.
I think we should try what are they called? Those things that go in the water. I feel so stupid that I don't know what this is called right now.
Yeah, the watermills.
Watermill. Yeah, we should try a lot more of those, dude. Like rivers that are already running, just watermill.
Set them all in Florida with all the fucking floods and all the hurricanes.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like they could do a bunch of watermills that would be effective and not really do any harm. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
what
for
the hell do
sure.
I know? I don't know shit. At least about that. So,
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to just talk about real quick.
you know what the next one is? Do you want to say anything about that yet, or just get to it?
Let's just get to it, man.
You have people that are really bad people that I really think want to make this country unsuccessful. When you look at what's happening at our border, Joe, when you have people coming in that when other countries are allowed to empty their prisons into our country with
They're letting all the people in, but they ain't letting nobody out. P. Diddy and Lil Durk, sorry. Y'all ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere.
It's
Because it's
fucked, man.
bad boy for life.
Yeah. I mean,
Our government's so shitty. We'll let all these retards in. But when there's somebody trying to get out, no, no, no.
I don't know. I just don't think we should be letting fucking random people come in. Like, at least give them documentation or do it the right way, like so many other uh, Mexican American Mexicans that did it the right way. Because that's not fair for those people that did it the right way
did it the right
and had
way.
to wait. Yeah, and then these people are just coming in, getting fucking surgeries conducted on them because they want to be different.
That's wild.
Because if you try doing that shit in Mexico, they'll fucking kill you. If you if they find out you're like tricking them
Yeah.
and it's the wrong person you fucking tricked, I mean, they will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And I mean, just gotta be careful, man. I mean, it's cool if you want to do that, but try not to trick the wrong people. Like, you should definitely have your, like, you can tell when someone's into that, or have your own, like, dating apps or your own circle of friends, you know, just be careful, man. Just because now if, like, women have a hard time being careful, you know? And if you're someone that's transitioning to women, now you got to be careful as well. The same rules will apply to you. Yeah, you might be a man, you might be able to fight them off, but still, like, anybody can get killed. You just got to be careful, man.
Yeah.
But it's fucking crazy that they're just letting all these people come in and like New York's fucked right now, and pretty sure LA is getting pretty bad too. And where are they gonna go? Where are we gonna put them? I don't know. Maybe we need to make camps, like how we did back in the day, and just throw them all in there, and then just figure out what to do with them, or get proper documentation and try to rehabilitate them, or maybe keep all the kids and the families together. And I don't know. What do you think?
Let me see what he said again.
Ranch in South Texas. We had to drive past this enormous.
Oh, that was the windmills. It was immigration, right?
you have people that are really bad people that I really think want to make this country unsuccessful. When you look at what's happening at our border, Joe, when you have people coming in that when other countries are allowed to empty their prisons into our country with murderers, we had 13,099 murderers dropped in our country over the last 3 years.
I don't want murderers over here. I don't want.
Do you think there's really that many people over here like that are like that? I've said time and time again, if you're gonna fucking say shit like this, I need evidence. I need evidence. Where are all these fucking people? Where are all the crimes they're committing? Where's the records of that? Where's all the extra food they're consuming? Where's the evidence? There's not this huge wave of crime that you could show stats that in certain counties or certain cities there was, like, let's just say town X had 10 murders one year, and then the next year it had 50 murders and half of those murders were unsolved. I'd be like, whoa, we got a problem here, bud. But where are the numbers like that? He's just saying shit. All these countries, they're just releasing their prisons. Where are the numbers? Like, you can't just say things. Or you can. That doesn't mean they're real, though. Like, I don't know if there's a wave of immigration like that. Do you think there is? Like, have you seen that?
So the number of immigration that we've had is 2016 was 2,705,312.
But that's Google.
Okay, and then it after
You live at the border. Do you see that many more people coming across?
Well, not in this city, but I'm sure.
Okay, dude.
Cities, yeah.
What other city do you think it's going to be way worse? And you know people that live around. You don't just live in your one city and see what you see. You know other people. You go to school with people from the area. Your mom works with people from the area. Don't you think there would be rumors and talks amongst the local people like, holy fuck, like people got raped in this other town. So-and-so's daughter got killed. They're hosting a barbecue because so-and-so's whole family got taken out. Like, so-and-so's house got burned down. Are you hearing shit like that? Like, more than it used to be. That's what they're insinuating. They're just coming across and it's fucking on.
Yeah.
I mean, do you see it like that?
Not here in this area.
All these murderers and rapists, they're just fucking murdering, raping everywhere. I don't see any women more scared to go out. Do you? With all these murderers and rapists that are unidentified and the cops can't find them, do you see women more scared to go out than ever? I don't. Somebody's lying in this bitch. Where's all the murder and rape? How come I haven't been raped yet? Or murdered yet? I'm ripe for the picking. Pause. Yeah, but I mean, what the fuck is, like, I'm not a hard target to kill. Like, I don't have a gun. It's just like, if it was getting that much more scary, I probably would have got a gun by now. But like, and I could be wrong, but I don't think it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Where's all the fear? Right, where's the fear from people? It's there's all these murderers and rapists. It's like, yeah. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to find research on it, information. There's not really much.
Because my mom works for, like, local government here in the area that I'm at without giving away too much. And, like, I just asked her, like, are y'all seeing, like, you work with people in local government, not just in your office, but you work in local government. And I was like, are y'all seeing, like, a lot more crime? And like a lot more crime that y'all can't solve. And she was like, no. When she really thought about it, it's like, no, it's like that. It's on national news, but it's not on local news. And people in the community are really not experiencing that. But that's my point of view on it.
It's a good point of view.
Yeah.
No, you're right. There's not really much information. I haven't seen much on the news, but
don't you think you'd be scared for your mom's safety if that kind of shit was real that they're talking about?
Okay, there's not a whole lot. There are a lot of women coming over and having kids in the United States.
Okay.
That is a big thing.
I'm not saying that's not happening.
But I haven't heard much about killers or rapists or,
you know what I'm saying?
Murderers. Yeah. But there is a good amount of people coming in through the border still.
But not way more than before. Like, it's just open season. That's what my argument, you know?
For sure.
But I could be wrong, but, you know, anyway. I'm just arguing that it's less drastic than they're making it seem. So.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
lot of these people in low-income areas, the only food that's available is cheap, unhealthy food.
That's right.
And
Damn, they want me to see that
we
ad
could
real
fix
bad.
that's if we could send $175 billion to Ukraine, we could do something to fix a lot of the health problems that the United States has. And I think it would.
I feel like you've brought that up several times within the past.
I have brought that up.
Yeah.
I have brought that up several times, and yeah, I think it is crazy that we're sending all this money to Ukraine and we can't fix problems that we have here in the United States. Like, what happened to being the nation that was, just above all the other nations? What happened to being so prideful and true? What happened to, being number one? Thought we were number one, baby. What's going on?
Yeah.
They brainwashed me to be like, oh, everything's fucking great in the United States and we're number one. We're always going to have all these resources and everyone's going to be so happy in the American dream. And then for them to not like follow through with that or, keep up the tradition. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess there's bigger things at play that we just don't know or see. Or maybe these politicians are getting a bigger paycheck than they thought they would, or I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. There's a reason for it. Maybe we have to keep our troops in there or our allies in there. You know what? They do make fun of Kamala. I did miss that timestamp where she says that we have no troops overseas and stuff. And then there's videos of the troops overseas and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That was wild.
Yeah. What are we doing out here?
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
You've seen that?
That was like several months ago when I thought it was Biden. Maybe it was her that said like there were no troops overseas. Or something. Maybe I haven't seen that. I think Biden. What I remember is Biden during the Biden and Trump debate. Biden said like there were no soldiers overseas while I was in office, and it's like he said something almost just as crazy. But maybe I haven't seen the Kamala one. If you have the timestamp,
I actually have a video that I have that video, where the soldiers like making fun of her.
Okay,
And I can try looking for that timestamp while you show that video off.
Okay.
Definitely show that video.
Let me pull
I
it up.
just send it in Discord.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you did. Okay. Okay, hold on, let me. Okay.
Get ready for a Bluff experience. Smash subscribe. Love ya.
In a combat zone in any war zone around the world. Today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. The first time this century. What? But let's understand.
So where the fuck are we right now?
If you like true.
Damn.
Yeah,
I feel like
Trump
Biden
roaster.
said something really similar during his debate.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's terrible.
But that's like how can you say that and then
How can you be so wrong?
You're making fun of your soldiers at that point. Like, how would you as a soldier feel about that? Like, you're over there and then they fucking
It's
say
like you
that
are
shit
so out of
about
touch with
you.
reality and what the hell's going on, and you're supposed to. That is like your job to know that shit like that. You know, you're supposed to be calling shots about shit like that. Like, allegedly, I don't know. It's craziness. Did you have another video or something, or just next timestamp?
Nah, that was it.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the timestamp of where they made fun of her, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it.
That's all good.
I could have put crooked Hillary.
I
in
respected
jail.
that you didn't because
didn't.
what you said was it would be bad for the country.
No,
Do you respect them for not doing it?
I think he had to wait till his second term to do it, because if he did it on his first term and then he tried to run, I don't think people would have voted.
I couldn't even imagine. You have, first of all, Secretary of State, but more importantly, the wife of the President of the United States of America going into jail. And if you ever saw when I'd say something about her, they're all.
Does it matter whose fucking wife it is? If they did something wrong, they need to do the crime, the time for the crime, right? How would it look if it was the president's wife? going to jail. It would look good if she was guilty.
I think I found it.
Nobody cared that it was the president when that girl was sucking his dick and they wanted him to go down. Oh, they didn't say, "Oh, stop," because it's Bill Clinton. He's the president. How bad would it look if it's the president's wife going to jail?
Yeah, 33:39. That's the timestamp.
Okay. Anything you want to say about this?
I just thought it was funny. I thought she would have got a kick out of it.
First of all, Secretary of State, but more importantly, the wife of the President of the United States of America going into jail. And if you ever saw when I'd say something about her, they'd all say, I didn't say it. I never said it. They say, lock her up, lock her up. And I'd always go, take it easy, just relax. We're going to win this thing. Take it easy.
Yeah, until during the debate you dropped that you'd be in jail. I guess that was for comedic effect.
Easy, take it easy. And I'm telling you, I kept it down, just the opposite.
Do you think he kept it down or did he rile up the lock her up shit?
I mean, I think he kept it down because if he would have locked her up, he would have locked her up already.
No, but he hyped it up at the time. He just didn't follow through. What'd you say the timestamp was? 33 what?
33:39.
Rest of them, you know.
Well, that's his job, unfortunately, and I'm
No,
sure
but not when they're
what they
wrong.
want. You're right. Well, the problem was they fact-checked you and they didn't fact-check her. And
Not
one of the
at
most
all.
egregious examples of that was when she said that there are no troops right now deployed in war zones.
Yeah.
There's a very famous viral.
So like he's about to talk about the viral video that we just showed,
Okay.
and yeah, that's the viral video that blew up and got a ton of views, and
Nice.
pretty crazy that this happened. Like I'm glad that they brought it up because they do watch the news just like we do. They do watch all the viral hits just like we do.
Right.
You know, like they're not oblivious to what's going on the internet.
Right.
You know.
Viral video that went online of troops in a war zone saying, well, what the fuck are we then? Because there's thousands of them. Dan.
Yeah. It's
He
just bridging
loved
the
that video.
Rogan.
Yeah, he loves seeing that video. Show that video off again one more time.
Let me see.
It's in the Discord chat.
Hold on.
This isn't just YouTube, it's Blux.
And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. The first time this century.
What?
But let's understand.
So where the fuck are we right now?
If you like truthful news and wonderful...
That was funny.
And then Trump does say more about it
Let's go
after
back.
this.
Okay.
Just let it down.
Crenshaw, the congressman, posted on his Instagram all of the various examples of
Too many.
troops that are deployed, thousands and thousands of troops that are currently deployed.
Stupidly deployed.
But the point is,
Stupidly deployed.
Too many.
About this bitch going stupid.
if this is going to be an actual real debate and not a propaganda exercise, if it's going to be a real debate, you have to fact check everybody.
So
Like if someone says
never went
maybe she
after-
thought there was no, which is also a problem. So it's one of two things. It's either it.
All right, Joe, you're saying too much, man. Let the man speak. But yeah, I was
14.
try it. Just check it out.
I could have put crooked Hillary
In jail.
I lost by like, I didn't lose, but they say I
I didn't lose.
Yeah,
Lost,
that's
Joe.
all it was. He was like,
They say that made, I don't believe it's this much, but it doesn't have to. I won by like, I lost by like, I didn't lose, but they say I lost, Joe, they say I lost by 22,000 votes.
But
you see how he like, Joe, hey, pay attention, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm talking. Joe, like, let's get back to what I want to say. Joe,
Yeah.
before I weave off.
Well, he wants him to finish laughing.
That's like 1/10 of 1%, less than that.
He
It's a
can't
tiny
believe
little
it. He
fact.
can't believe the percentage. Like, he can't fathom. It's
It
just
has to be
crazy.
so tiny. He's crooked.
Whenever he's talking about like huge, it's huge. He like goes all over the fucking place. But when he talks
Yeah.
about tiny, he's like tiny, tiny.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. It's like alien like.
He just emphasizing things. It's weird.
I mean, he wants you to know.
I've worked.
Fucking tiny and big, you know.
Yeah, there's a word for that where he's like acting
emphasizing.
out. Yeah, but he's like acting out when he's saying something small. He gets quiet and like his words, the volume gets smaller. It's like.
I mean, he's a fucking actor. He's a fucking celebrity.
Yeah.
He has to be different.
Worked here for.
He has to be what?
He has to be different. He has to stand out.
Yeah.
15 minutes, which is 15 minutes more than she worked here. She lied about McDonald's. And, you know,
is that proven that she never worked at McDonald's?
Well, McDonald's has no information. No, she has no information. There's nobody. The manager.
There's nobody.
Said she never worked there. You know, it was a certain place. And he said they never. No, she lied.
I never heard that she said she worked there. Did you?
Yeah, it came out on the fucking. She said some shit.
I never heard that. But
she's like, I used to struggle. I used to fucking. Let me see if I can find the video.
She's a liar. You know what they do?
She's a liar.
There's no information here. She lied about McDonald's. And, you know,
is that proven that she never worked at McDonald's?
Well, McDonald's has no information. No, she has no information. There's nobody. The manager said she never worked there. You know, it was a certain place, and he said they never. No, she lied. She's a.
No, she lied. She's a liar.
Liar. You know what they do?
I found the video.
Wow.
It's a short. I feel like fucking Jamie in this bitch.
So I just want to ask you yes or no. At any point in your life, have you served 2 all-beef patties?
2 all-beef patties.
So I just want to ask you yes or no. At any point in your life, have you served 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, working at a McDonald's? Yes or no? That's it.
I have.
Okay. Now the other job. But
it was not a small job. Like, I did the fries. I mean, yes.
Okay, for a small period of time. But then let me ask about a big job.
But to your point, if you don't mind, before you get to the big job, there's a part of the reason I even talk about having worked at McDonald's is because there are people who work at McDonald's in our country who are trying to raise a family. I worked there as a student. I was a kid who worked there trying to raise families and pay rent on it.
Oh man, that's crooked.
Do you see it? Do you see how she was like giggling and getting all excited? Like,
she always does that.
Do you really want to see your president doing that shit? Like, I want them to be like calm, serious, just always focused, not getting too excited over shit.
Yeah.
How can you take her seriously sometimes? Like, if you're in like a big political room with all these fucking people that are edged out, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they're ready to kill someone probably. Or they're ready to fucking bring war, and she's over here giggling and shit.
Yeah, it's crooked. I don't know.
Wake up, America. Wake up. 2025.
Yeah.
Shit's fucking breaking loose.
Shit's breaking loose.
Who would want to have? There's so many. The transgender operations, where they're allowed to take your child when he goes to school and turn him into a male, to a female, without parental consent. Who wants this? Does anybody want this? I've never heard of anyone, and I can go into 10 different things.
Is that really becoming a thing?
Yeah, apparently if you go to school and you're like not happy, or you want to fucking change your sex, you can do it apparently.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I thought you would have liked to have seen that.
I don't know. It's weird. I just can't even believe that's real, honestly.
I'm sure he's exaggerating.
That's the fear of where it's headed, I guess.
Not to. I mean, there's no reason not to think that Mars and all these.
LA.
Yeah.
planets don't
Newsom
have
signs law barring schools from requiring the parents be informed of child gender transition 3 months ago
Where was that?
in California, in LA.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
Gavin Newsom. This guy is
Gavin
fucking
Newsom.
creepy, bro.
Yeah.
This guy looks like a fucking lizard, devil, fucking demon.
Yeah.
What the hell? Why would anyone in the right mind, educated, in a high position like that, sign this? It's like he's signing shit just to see what he can get away with.
Yeah.
Like, let me fuck shit up for the next person. Let me have my fun. Let me just fucking bring hell on loose.
Yeah.
He wants hell to break loose, basically.
Yeah. Seems like it.
It's fucking crazy.
flying around or whatever.
What do you think?
There's no reason not to. I mean, there's no reason not to think that Mars and all these planets don't have life, because
Mars, we've had probes there and rovers, and I don't think there's any life there.
Well, maybe
But you
it's
don't
life
know
that we
the
don't
facts, Joe. You don't know the fucking facts. This is the president right here telling you,
These two.
hey, I think there might be aliens. Letting you know right now, Joe.
He's not two tards talking about space.
So if y'all don't know, LOG don't believe in space. I think there's stars and shit. But
Yeah, just remember the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour.
We're fucking flying in this Earth right now, baby.
Yeah, we're flying 1,000. We're spinning 1,000 miles per hour, and then we're also on a trajectory path following the sun. So that means when something comes back to Earth, it has to make sure it catches up to both of those speeds, or else it'll crash.
Wow.
All while dodging other stuff that's in space.
Like asteroids and shit?
Everything. There's tons of stuff in space that's just floating around and flying around real fast. So you tell me if you believe in all that shit.
Oh, yeah, I get you, man. I get you.
What was it they've been talking about, though? Space, but let's see.
Not to. I mean, there's no reason not to think that
life on Mars and shit. Yeah, it's all just so fake to me.
Mars and all these planets don't have life.
That is interesting that Trump is trying to educate Joe. What are your thoughts on that?
About what, the Mars and all that shit?
Yeah. Who do you believe, Joe or Trump?
I think I'd rather believe Trump because Joe's just talking out of his ass, but Trump's actually been behind the scenes. He's seen fucking documents. He probably knows that there's been a lot of weird things that he just can't explain type shit.
Right.
Mars, we've had probes there and rovers, and I don't think there's any life there.
Well, maybe it's life that we don't know, but
maybe there was life there at one point in time. This is a speculation about Mars, that Mars had an atmosphere at one point.
Yeah. It's interesting that Joe feels like he knows more than the president about that.
At least Israel's not going to look at a bomb the way they would have been. Think if they listened to Biden. They'd be waiting for a bomb to drop on their head right now. He's been wrong about so much. I guess you'd have to say that she's been wrong too, because she always said they made the decision together. But Israel didn't follow his advice, and I think it was a very, the Middle East is rapidly changing. There are prophets that say the world will come to an end in the Middle East. You know that, right?
What do you think about that?
Be careful. Got to be careful over there in the Middle East.
And we have weapons today that are so scary. When you look, I rebuilt them all. And when you look at the weapons we have today, the biggest threat we have in the world today is nuclear weapons. And we have other weapons, too, that are devastating. But the nuclear weapons, prophets that say the world will come to an end.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot about that, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm always thinking the world's coming to an end.
Yeah, they're always trying to predict that, but they all do say stuff about it happening in the Middle East. So, and that's where a lot of the wars do tend to get started in general. So that's very interesting.
November, what do you do differently, and how do you change this course that it seems we are on for World War III? How do you get us out of Ukraine? How do you stop what's going on in the Middle East? How do you put a stop to this?
Well, it's a very, to me, it's an easy question because I think I can do it easily, but it's a complex question in the sense that the times change, every day changes. Who's winning, who's not winning? I mean, Russia's a war machine. Whether you like it or not, it just
If it's changing all the time, then how could it be easy?
grinds along.
Do you think it matters just on who's president and the war will just end? Like, he makes it seem like he gets into the war will just end. What do you think?
Yeah, I just don't know, man. It's fucking this kind of end of the podcast was so like
Weird.
brief and so quick. I mean, they don't really talk about it too much. I mean, I don't know if they're sprinkling that the end of the world's coming. But who knows, man. I don't know who to believe at this point.
Yeah, this podcast was definitely kind of interesting because it was their first time. So they tried to get the most out of it, but at the same time, like, it was their first time maybe ever meeting in person type shit, I think. So the conversation maybe didn't flow as good as it could have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trump was trying to be Trump, and
They should have talked about the shit at the beginning, not the end.
yeah. Well, they started off with
That
light
way-
stuff just to get it going. I mean, I think they did the best they could for the first time, but
I mean, what do you think about it?
I'd have to watch the whole thing. We just kind of watched these highlights together with y'all, based off kind of what we found in the transcript. But,
Trying to avoid copyright because this is a big fucking channel and they left the copyright like crazy.
yeah, they love to copyright on big interviews like this. I don't know. I think it was good. I just think, like I said, Trump was still trying to be Trump. They didn't get the most out of it because it was the first time of them ever meeting. It was the first time him ever doing Joe Rogan. He knew it was going to be huge, and he has certain talking points that he wants to get out. So I just think it was them two figuring each other out. It could have been a little more productive, but it was probably, it was what it was. And I think if he would have come on here when he was running the first time, that would have been obviously just as big. But I feel like if he would have done it, if he would have come on the first time in 2016, then him coming on right now, right before him possibly getting elected again, it would have been a lot more comfortable and productive conversation because they would have already known each other. A lot of the first time stuff would have been out of the way, but I'll have to go through and watch the whole thing and kind of pick apart what I really think about it. What are your thoughts?
There's a lot. This is a fucking breakthrough of the century of the internet. I mean, this was just interesting to see a former president of the United States and maybe future president of the United States on Joe Rogan. I think this makes Joe Rogan the GOAT of podcasting.
Why? Was it as big a deal as, like, what makes this bigger than Trump being on the Nelk Boys the first time, or him being on the Nelk Boys 2 weeks ago, or him being on Flagrant?
Because Joe Rogan was the man that started all this bullshit, okay? All this podcasting.
But he's the last one to get Trump on?
Well, because he had a lot of feelings towards Trump. He did not want Trump on the podcast. And they finally got it to happen. They finally got it to work, so. I honestly thought Joe Rogan would never have this guy on the podcast. That's why I'm so blown away right now.
What does that mean to you that he didn't want to have him on there for so long and then he finally did? Like, what's the point? Like, do you think that's, like, he didn't want to endorse anybody politically and now he has, or what?
Yeah, he didn't want to change the vote, or he didn't want to, like, influence people any sort of way, but
yeah,
I think at this point, I mean, the powers that be, they couldn't help but convince Joe to have this man on his podcast.
Well,
was that the last timestamp?
I think there was one more. Do you remember what the last one was?
Nope.
Let's see.
I don't think this country is going to make it. I don't think we'll ever be. I think just really bad things will happen to our country. And you know what? I look at the outside forces and I say they can all be handled because we have a pot of gold.
Hearing
Yeah.
that from a former president of the United States, maybe future president of the United States, towards the end of the JRE podcast.
Yeah. It's not hard
telling
to
Joe Rogan
predict.
yeah. That's crazy.
Not really.
We're fucked, bud. Everyone start praying.
Yeah.
All shit's about to break loose.
It's not gonna be good.
That's
Well,
basically it, man.
Well, I'll have to watch watch the whole thing, and see if there's anything else that really sticks out. But it was what it was. It was a big deal, but I don't know. I don't know if there's anything Trump can say that's new. You know what I mean? At this point,
For sure.
but
Closing thoughts. We're all fucked. Make sure y'all pray. Do the best you can. Live your best life. It's Mr. Joe Games, Joey Flex. I'm out. Peace.
all right. Well, I guess I'll give my outro real quick. I'd like to thank Mr. Joe Games for coming through. Y'all go check out his channel for the gaming playthroughs, and y'all keep coming back for our dope conversations here. We cover pretty much a lot of political shit lately, but it's everything in pop culture and what's going on in the world, and we're always going to give our takes and give our opinions and not really hold anything back. So yeah, I don't know. This podcast was kind of interesting, but I think it was almost one of those things that like had to happen more than like needed to happen, if that makes sense. But I'll watch the whole thing, maybe give some feedback on it later. Maybe me and Joe will talk about it here in a day or two when we've had some time to like actually watch the whole thing and digest it. And anyway, I appreciate y'all coming through for the conversation. And until next time, that's LOG from Where There's Smoke. I'm out.